All right, we are racing in the Altezza Cup One Make Series, coming at you from Anglesey in the beautiful island of Wales. Mitch Hamilton leading away, Sam Daly, then Paul Lancaster in third. Very tail happy these cars are, watching them in qualifying. Someone out there enjoying the scenery already. Mitch Hamilton still getting pulled through, Paul Lancaster in third, and Amos Harder, Ben Kernahan, Sam Daly. Have to be very light on the controls with these machines. They do not like riding the curbs. Us to sway to the scenery. Over a second lead on the first of 10 laps this evening. At you from HOSS. Okay, Timaru. Oh, bit of a dive bomb down there. Takes Paul Lancaster off the circuit in the mean green machine. Mitch Hamilton now got his lead out to over 2 seconds. Amos Hardacre us to the podium positions. We can see Mitch Hamilton just easing away slowly from the rest of the field. Nice on the controls. And the short straight they go. And Mitch Hamilton, half a second. Fire smoke. Okay. Here we go, on board. Trying to get past Paul, not quite in a position to pull off a manoeuvre just yet. Get a run up the hill. Braking. Take it easy. Your feet in the power. And within a second, back Paul Lancaster, P4, Kernahan and Daly, back of the pack. Amos, back to race leader, Mitch Hamilton, making it look easy. Laps to go. With the Altezza Cup cars. We raced in Japan in the early 2000s. We're a stepping stone to touring car racing. Quite heavily controlled on the modifications. The Lexus S platform. So just Paul Lancaster there, all over the back of Amos Hardacre. Takes the inside line. A bit of a nudge as they go up the hill. Amos has the inside line. A rather wide line there, nudging Paul Lancaster out into the scenery. Paul still within striking distance. It's taken the pressure off Paul a wee bit. Ooh, a little bit hard on the gas there. Very tail happy, as we mentioned, these Altezza Cup cars. Shot though out the back of Amos Hardacre's machine. PSG engine screaming. Oh, meanwhile up the road, Mitch Hamilton's now out to nearly 9 seconds, driving away from the field. Here's where all the action is. Amos Hardacre, Paul Lancaster. Going up through that speed gearbox of the Toyota Altezzas. Paul gets a little bit closer. As we look down the inside once again as they head up the hill. Oh, bit of a nudge. I'm having a little bit of a chat to the driving standards officiator after the race. But for now, Amos Hardacre holding down P3. Paul Lancaster's not letting him get away. Spoke too soon. Out in the scenery. This is the number 13 car of Amos Hardacre. Meanwhile, there's Mitch Hamilton. Over 11 seconds clear now. Still putting in fastest laps. Found the sweet spot in the Toyota Altezzas. Five of 10. The hill he goes. Okay, back to Paul Lancaster. Back on the chase. Can he hunt down Amos Hardacre? 5 laps to go. He climbs the hill. We can just see Amos now going into the left-hander. Down through the gears. Just nips up the left front tyre as it comes unweighted. Just feathering the throttle, keeping his Altezza straight as he can. All gets a little bit out of shape. Coming into the tight infield part of the circuit. Got the gap down now under 6 seconds. Fastest lap, Paul Lancaster. 1:17.7 as he hunts down Amos Hardacre. Amos trying to get onto the back of Paul Artu's car. 2.5 seconds up the road. Chapelton's cleared out. His race to lose. What can Amos do? Up the hill they climb. Out on the brakes. Into the left-hander. His race leader, the 54 car of Mitch Hamilton. Nearly 16 seconds, there he goes. 6 of 10. Paul Artu, Amos Hardacre, Paul Lancaster, Ben Kernahan, Sam Daly. So Amos Hardacre now got the gap down under 2 seconds. Can he do anything in the next 3 laps? They come down the front straight. Easing in the power. Feathering it, keeping it under control. Now Paul Lancaster's had another incident. He's dropped back to 13 seconds now behind Amos Hardacre. Here he goes in the number 25 machine. Had posted a fastest lap a couple of laps previous. Amos Hardacre still 2 seconds adrift of Paul Artu. Mitch Hamilton on 7 of 10 in the Altezza Cup cars from Anglesey, Wales. Original circuit built in 1997, update a little bit later on. Got 3 configurations, a short club circuit and a longer national circuit which includes an additional loop. Sam Daly in the number 9 machine. 1.5 seconds adrift of the yellow car of Ben Kernahan, and there it is just up the road. He hunt him down. the next couple of laps. They can add another 2 tenths. On the front straight they go. Fastest lap, 1:17.6, Sam Daly. Got his race face on as he hunts down Ben Kernahan. Just saying that gets a little bit out of shape coming into the right-hander. And you get a toe down the straight. You go climbing the hill. Not quite close enough to force a manoeuvre coming into the left-hander. Kernahan just travelling, heading lightly. There's a cup car. On board action now. So on the rev limiter, Sam Daly will take the inside line. That's it. Ben Kernahan makes a mistake. Sam Daly takes the position. Ben Kernahan got anything left in the tank? Can he come back at him? It appears not. That takes the pressure off Sam Daly. So Mitch Hamilton, race leader on lap 9 of 10. Just needs to bring it home. He's got his lead out to over 25 seconds now. Into the 1:16.2s. So he's still got plenty left in the tank if he needed it. Just needs to bring it home. Paul Artu over 30 seconds further back. He's got a 6-second buffer over Amos Hardacre in third. Paul Lancaster's managed to shut down that 15-second gap he had to Amos Hardacre. Didn't do much on the last lap. Mitch Hamilton brings his Altezza Cup car up the hill for the final time this evening in race 1. Probably doesn't want to get too aggressive. Bank the win, bring it home. Paul Artu taking it 3 seconds out of Mitch Hamilton on that last lap. Amos Hardacre. Paul Lancaster's got the gap down to a second. Sam Daly managed to clear out from Ben Kernahan after that spin. Anyway, there's Paul Artu. P2. Oh, see someone up in the scenery in the back of the shot. There we go, Paul Artu. Here comes P3, Amos Hardacre, with Paul Lancaster trying to hunt him down in the final lap. Sam Daly had that excellent pass, forcing a mistake out of Ben Kernahan. A finish 6th. He doesn't rip the rear axle out of it. There we go, a race for the Altezza Cup cars. Very exciting.
They are a heavy car by nature, aren't they? You should know. You've got one.
They are very heavy. They're rather well built.
But
quite tail happy too, though. Looking at the
not
footage
bad
on
once
the
the
screen.
tyres get up to temperature, but pretty cold for a start. Had a couple of good wee battles there. But Mitch Hamilton taking out the race win from Paul Latu.
Quite comfortably. And you did mention the tyre temperatures getting better as the race went on. Mitch Hamilton was able to pop in fastest laps, in lap 9 and 10. So once they got in the window,
very tail happy. I think the fastest way around is to not be tail happy. You can get them drifting quite nicely.
Smooth as fast. What do you think of the Anglesey circuit out there in Wales?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Quite a good wee track, really. We're just getting the tier 2 guys strapped in. Anglesey circuit in England. You've been doing your homework on the track, Brendan?
Well, I have actually seen the circuit on the Wheeler Dealers show for anyone that has the Discovery Turbo channel. Right. The Wheeler Dealers have taken cars there on occasion, done some hot laps.
Not a bad wee track. But a very tail-happy car, so keeping it in a straight line is probably the quickest way around.
We were commenting earlier on the Altezzas. They were raced in New Zealand in the Leader Touring Car Championship.
Yeah, Barry Tomlinson ran one, didn't he?
That's right, they won the championship. And I did have a wee look on the interweb. They were a one-make race series in Japan as well in the early 2000s.
Right.
They were utilised. They are running 2K Cup in the North Island, Altezzas.
Haven't quite made it in the 2K Cup down in the South Island as yet. So we've got the drivers for the Tier 2, Dallas Redhead, Paul Beams, Scotty Kinder, Mark Lister, Sam Reeford, Timmy Horn, Andrew Bruce, who Tier 2, he's normally up in the Fast 8, and Paul Hammond. So could be a good wee battle this one. In fact, Andrew Bruce still sitting in the pit. Let's have a look around and see who's driving what. I don't see Andrew Bruce there, so I don't know what up there. A 6-minute qualifying session for them, around about sort of a minute 17, 18 a lap for these guys, I would imagine. The Billy Manson did a 15 earlier on tonight. In the Fast 8. So the Altezzas, at least, they've all got different liveries tonight, so we'll be able to pick them up. It's Mark Lister in the number 13. Green, red entry. Redhead though. So a couple of these guys in the field. Sam Reeford's another one. Takes their racing very seriously. Don't like losing apparently. See how they both go tonight then. Beam's another reasonably newcomer to round already. It's one car. Coming back on. Back. Rear-wheel drive, as you see the tyres still very cold. You get up on that ripple strip and take much, even at low speed, for it to come round. On the coast over there in England, it the glimpses of the sea in the background. Downhill section, pretty tricky wee corner this one. It's one of those corners that you can take flat out in third and she'll be right on the red line, or you could flick fourth, but then you've got to copper down a couple of gears to get around that right-hander. Oh, look at that, bit of airtime already. Not too sure who that was out in front, but went off the grass and just hit something in the ground there and lifted the whole front of the car up. That was quite impressive. And I don't know if we've got damage on tonight or not. Billy Rowley, do we have damage on tonight? 30% damage, so we've been pretty lenient on them of late. So on board the Paul Beams.
On the big climb up the hill.
Yeah, here he goes. So Andrew Bruce just getting here reasonably late. He's gonna just strapping himself in. It could take a couple of minutes. It'll really only be a couple of fast laps for Brucey. They normally in the Fast 8, running in the Tier 2 tonight. Here's Paul Beams there on screen in the 00 cockpit car. currently a purple sector, but he's the first one out in front by the looks of it. So what sort of motors they normally run in these, Brendan? You'd be right up the play.
Well, if they are running the 4-cylinder motor, it's the 3SGE. It's the 5th iteration of that engine, running the black top motor. In standard trim, a manual put out between about 200, 210 horsepower in the day. I think the ones in the New Zealand touring cars were reputed to be well north of that, with blueprinted engines in them.
Paul Beam's the first one to really throw down a lap, a 127.7, 20.7, so I think that won't be anywhere near enough. These guys here will be down in these 17s, I'm guessing. Let's see. Let's get catching that ripple strip, unsettles the car and threw him out in the grass. Paul Beam's end's gone 8/10 faster this time. Hugging it nice, let's see how he handles the hairpin. Just kisses the inside curve there. This is quite a nice wee do around here. Got to be gentle on the throttle. A bit of oversteer there as the car wants to come around on you. This is where I had a couple of troubles here, Brendan. Coming up over this crest, the car gets quite light, and once it starts going, pretty hard to get back. This corner here, you see he's in third gear. Down to second. Take a lot inside curve there. 7.5 up, you should see him down in the 18-second bracket. Paul Beams come round to set his second quickest lap. In fact, I think it would allow Tim Horn, a couple of purple sectors, goes to the top at 18.8. Reeford at 19.8, Dallas Redhead 19.9, so a bit of work to do for these guys. Marcus in the green entry. Who got a first run. In fact, he must have gone off because that time did not count. So still let the post of time. Himself and Andrew Bruce on board with Paul Beams. Back into the top of the 90-degree corner, right at the top of the hill. So you don't want to overshoot it, otherwise you leave your braking a wee bit too late. You get over the crest of that hill and you just run wide out in the grass. So here it's Tim Horn at 18.8 so far with 49 seconds left on the clock. Paul Beams, purple in the first sector. Green with them here. Downhill. Yeah, very important this here to get a nice run down on the straight. Purple and green goes through in 18.6 over fastest. 30 seconds still left on the clock, so he's going to get another lap in. Goes at Sam Reeford. But those guys can come on 18.8. Beams 18.6. Sam Reeford at 19.1. Redhead 2. Mark Lister at green and purple. Looking good this time to post the time. Goes straight to the top at 18.61. He's got 6 hundredths of a second over Paul Beams. Time is up, so everybody on their last lap. Bit of a gaggle of cars here, Brendan. It's not what you normally see during qualifying, or not what you want anyway.
You can held up a wee bit. Space.
Tim Horn getting a couple of wheels out in the grass. Got a charge for third sector. Redhead, in fact, blue and yellow car. Dallas down there in 6th place at the moment. He won't be too happy with that, Dallas. I think he's a decent racer down here at HOSS. Seen him in the fast dates on quite a few occasions. Here he comes down the hill. Right-hander, we just missed him. Back to coming across on Scotty. Dallas Redhead, 19.2. 18.0, so he goes to the top. Anybody else do that's still on a hot lap? Here goes Mark Lister. Third at the moment goes to the top, a 17.4. Good lap from Mark Lister. It's Dallas Redhead. Tim Horn currently sitting third. Like that's about it. Lister's going to take the pole. One car. Mark Lister, Dallas Redhead on the front row. Tim Horn, Paul Beams, Paul Hammond, Sam Reeford, Scotty Kinder and Andrew Bruce. Bit of work to do off the back row of the grid. 10-lap race. At Anglesey. What's a 6-speed H-pattern gearbox in these things. So we're off. Go back to the, it's the better shot. It's a better jump. This two got it. But however, she's pretty tidy as they get away. Tyres will still be cold, so be very cautious first lap. Redhead away from Mr. Green entry. Tim Horn in the green and white car, just running a wee bit wide there. Someone sideways there in the background. That was Scotty Kinder. Look at Mark Lister trying to go around the outside of Redhead. Redhead comes across in front of him. Wee bit tail happy as they head up the hill. Someone out in the grass there.
The car off the back as well.
Bruce up to 5th. Up the hill, then hard on the brakes into the left-hander. That's where you can make up a few spots. Tim Horn up the inside. Oh, and he gets ploughed on the side by Lister. That'll be one for the judicial look at. There was a hard out smack into the door of Tim Horn. Oh, and it's all going on here too. Paul Beams getting in trouble there with Andrew Bruce, who's dropped down at 6th. Downhill section. Eyes will still be cold. It's still going on in the background there. Sam Reeford and Scotty Kinder. And who we got in front? Looks like it's going to be Dallas Redhead. He's managed to
keep out of the carnage.
Not a bad wee gap. Tim Horn up to 2nd. Hammond and Lister down to 4th place. The bit of a talent off the official after that. Out in the grass again.
Hammond's become
Hammond it is.
Master of his own destiny.
Place. Bruce charging harder behind, but there's Andrew Bruce there in the 08 car. 5th place at the moment. Got a couple of laps in during qualifying, and Andrew Bruce coming halfway through. Dallas Redhead leading the way from Tim Horn, Mark Lister. The 13 car. The right-hander. Don't want to be too early on the picks here either, Brendan. Going up the hill. A long way round to the run up the hill. On board with Tim Horn looking out the back. Mark Lister. 3rd gear. You can hear the revs in the engine, Brendan. It's either a 3rd or 4th gear corner, that one. 3rd through here, then 4th as you go across the line. Dallas Redhead looking pretty good. You've seen him out there in front before though, Brendan, and throw himself over the cliff. So hopefully he can keep it together today. Big battle going on here. Andrew Bruce on the back of Paul Hammond. Paul Hammond, another relative newcomer down here at HOSS, done a few race nights and been doing a pretty good job too. So got one of the experienced campaigners riding behind now as they come up the hill. Race leader. 5 cars, not too much in between them. Paul Beams, Scotty Kinder and Sam Reeford down the back, long way behind. Redhead going to come under some pressure shortly from Tim Horn. The 25 cars, they come up over the hill, down through the right-hander, and then through this tricky wee corner here, downhill. And it looks like Tim Horn might get a run at him up the front straight here.
Got a bit loose coming onto the front straight there, Paul.
He's right on the back. A bit tidy through here. He might have a shot up the inside. He overcooked himself. Get him out the grass, Tim Horn. There's no coming back from there, that's for sure. And Mark Lister goes through up to 2nd. There he is, still trying to gather it up, Tim Horn. And that was trying to put the pressure on Redhead. Come back onto the track in 3rd place. Paul Hammond still managing to keep Paul. In fact, Andrew Bruce has fallen back a couple of spots. Was on the back of Hammond, but Paul Beams and Scotty Kinder got through, so Brucey must have had a moment himself. Run up the hill. Redhead still in front. Not by much. Here goes Brucey now in the orange car. Trying to have a look at Scotty Kinder in the grey car. Oh, and he cooks himself again. You could see a bit of a gap there, Andrew Bruce. And just tried putting the picks down. Here's a battle for the lead. Dallas Redhead and Mark Lister. Come back round onto the front straight. They're going to put a lap on Sam Reeford very shortly. Only 5 laps in. Fastest lap of the race, Mark Lister, 1:17.4. Here we go for the lead. What can Lister do in the green entry? He's going to try and go around the outside. Looks like he might have the job done too as they head back up the hill. Like he's got the job done. So Dallas Redhead down to second. Might be enough just to stick with him, Dallas Redhead, and put all the pressure on Lister.
Well, there could be an opportunity coming up, Paul, as they get onto the back of Sam Rayford for Dallas Redhead to make an opportunity.
Correct. Second gear. With a squirt. Around the corner. And wind her out up the hill. Third gear, fourth gear. Get her up to fifth gear. Come up over the top of the hill. Won't be too far away before Reeford. What's coming? In fact, Reeford gets himself out in the grass, gets out of the way. The right thing to do, let the leaders battle it out. Lister's opened up a wee bit of a gap now, just about a second back to Redhead, and he's a long way back to Tim Horn. Paul Hammond about a second behind Tim Horn. A couple of battles going on. The battle for the lead though.
1:16 now from Mark Lister. Oh, Andrew Bruce goes a little bit quicker though, 1:16.9.
No, he's on the pace there, he's just not in the right position. Andrew Bruce down there in 6th. You see there just changing down the gears. You've got to give it a bit of a blip there so that it doesn't lock the rears up. Gearboxes are quite forgiving in them, Brendan.
I've got a good gearbox and a bad clutch. I've been told.
Beautiful scenes out in the back there. Ainsley on the coast. Paul Hammond there. It's a gap between 3rd and 4th and 5th. Paul Beams not too far behind either in the orange car. The hill they go. Top. That's that tricky wee corner. He's just over the top there. Drop down the hill through the left-hander. Hander. Get that nicely. Fade out in 3rd gear.
So there's Dallas Redhead. He hasn't let Mark Lister get away.
Bit of a moment there from Redhead, just a little bit greedy on the inside curb, just unsettled the car a wee bit. Tim Horn with the fastest lap of the race. Go down in the 16s. Up the hill. Hard on the brakes, down to 2nd gear. Take a bit of curb there on the inside if you want. Too bad, and through here too. And then patience, get her in a straight line and foot flat. Starting to fall back a wee bit now is Redhead. Still 3 laps to go in the race. Mark Lister just eking out that gap, just about 2 seconds back to Redhead. See how smooth Redhead is. He's not really going sideways at all, trying to keep it nice and straight. Being patient.
Very tight lines too, coming onto the front straight if you compared him to
on board with
Mark
Dallas
Lister.
Redhead. That's the leader up in front, Mark Lister. Let's just stay on board with him for a minute. as we head up through the fast section of the track. Up through here, third gear, up to fourth. You just about keep a tap through here, a wee bit of a lift sort of momentarily, and then flat out fourth gear, up to fifth. And if you really wanted, you'd just about hook sixth. See you showing fifth on the screen there. Third, down to second, missed the gear there, got neutral. So he's lost a wee bit of, and that's, you can actually change through the gears without using the clutch, but it's on the downshift, you got to use the clutch, otherwise you'll just chuck you straight into neutral if you try not to. And that's when you start doing a wee bit of overshooting. So gaps out to 3 seconds.
So that's taken the pressure off Mark Lister with
He's
just
doing
2
a good
laps to
job
go.
out the front. Come round, he got 3 to go. 2 to go, I should say. See, he's nice and smooth too, not much sideways action going on. Board with Tim Horn, sitting in third place at the moment. He's 7 seconds behind Dallas Redhead. Got a wee bit of work to do. Another fastest lap from Timmer, 16.6. Been good for Mark Lister at the moment though. Redhead, I put on a bit more of a show than that, but about 4 seconds further down the pack. Up on the brakes for Redhead. He really needs a mistake from Lister. Close that gap up a bit. There's Tim Horn, third place man, bit of a lock up for him. Taking a wee bit of that curve on the inside.
Well, Tim Horn's really come into his own as he's got the tyres in the operating window. He's taken 3 seconds of 3 seconds out of Dallas Redhead.
Pretty close through the mid-pack. There goes Hammond. He's a couple of seconds back from Tim Horn. Then another couple of seconds back to Paul Beams there in the 00 cockpit car. Drew Bruce still hunkering down there in 6th place. Scotty Kinder and Sam Reeford a lap down. Our race leader, Mark Lister, doing it easy at the moment, but see, he's hardly getting those wheels out on the curve at all. Staying well away from him. And looking pretty sharp at the moment. 3.7 seconds the gap first to second. You can just see Redhead in the background there. And the hill they come back into the over the top of the hill, 90-degree left-hander, drop down the lowest point right there, and then start heading back up again. Wee bit of curb on the exit. Not under any pressure whatsoever. He'll be keeping an eye on the gap back to Dallas Redhead. Looking nice and tidy stuff. Mark Lister come round and will take the race win. Great stuff from him. Started second, stayed out of trouble. Redhead will take second. Tim Horn comes around, will complete the podium. All the tier 2 drivers. Paul Beams not too far behind. Here goes Andrew Bruce trying to sneak up the inside, gets another spot, gets Paul Beams, they come across the line. And in the end, Sam Reeford comes through a lap down. Scotty Kinder, so too, not too sure why he's showing 8th, but great stuff from Mark Lister. Dallas Redhead a safe second. The great stuff from the tier 2 drivers tonight. There's the results there. Lister, Redhead, Horns, your top 3, then Hammond, Bruce, Paul Beams, Scotty Kinder and Sam Reeford, who finishes a lap down.
So Tim Horn's got the car speed there, Paul. He just needs to make a better start.
Right. Righto, we'll have a short interlude and we'll get the Fast 8 guys strapped in. And it shall be quite a good race for the Fast 8 guys tonight too.
What do we say? Billy Manson did a 1:15, has he, in practice? Okay, we're just getting the Tier 3 drivers strapped in. They'll have their qualifying session. The Altezza Cup coming at you from Anglesey in Wales. What can they do? We had the Tier 2 drivers consistently in the 116s in the latter half of their race this evening. 6 laps, 4 minutes rather, for the Tier 3 drivers. So Blair Gabbardies, Morgan Dorr, Braden Carroll, Corbin Winter, Shane Edgar, Billy Manson, Hamish Brader and Billy Rowley. Paul was saying that Billy Manson's been able to get into the 115s in practice. As we've noted though, it does take the Altezzas quite a few laps to get the tyres into the operating window. Here we are on board with Hamish Brader for the 6-minute qualifying session. A couple of drivers already out into the scenery. Does take a few laps, as we've mentioned, to get these tyres into their right operating window. Cars are a bit of a handful until that happens. Okay, up the hill they go. You can see the 54 car just trying to get a little bit of temperature into its tyres. Into the uphill left-hander.
Right, Brendan, this is going to be a good qualifying session. All the heavy hitters in there. And young Corbin Winter, it'd be good to see how he goes up against the likes of Billy Manson. Koenig is another one that can be on fire if he is on fire. Blair Gabbardies too. And not forgetting Big Billy. Big Bill's pretty quick behind the wheel. So 4.5 minutes.
Very twitchy until
so 125 is obviously on the out lap. So we'll wait and see what the times are going to be. Good to see Billy Manson back. So say Corbin Winter, just a young fella. I don't know how old he is, 13 or 14 or something like that. But very, very quick in a simulator. And I hope his old man's got plenty of money, because he might need it in a couple of years. Or maybe 1 year. Someone out in the grass there, not too sure who that was. Corbin Winter, I think he must be the car out in front. He's just going to give himself some clear air by the looks of it.
Well, we've noted previously when they're racing each other, Paul, they're not going to get their optimum lap time.
Oh, that's correct. It's Braden Carroll there, he's in the grey car. He's also another one, ex-Tier 2 champion, and he loves throwing it in sideways. See how he goes with no power. These things really are pretty slow. And see 18-1 straight away, Morgan Dorr. 18-6 Braden Carroll. Gabbardies a 19-9. It's Gabbardies there in the white, yellow and blue entry. Braden Carroll out in front. It's the place you want to be. The Clio, you'll see him already. A bit of an F-bomb coming from Braden Carroll as he got the wrong line in the corner there, but he managed to hold on to it. 18-1, I think we'll see the times down, maybe in the low 16s, maybe a high 15, Brendan.
Over 2.5 minutes left to go in the session.
Oh, who's that getting out of shape? The double O car. I think that might have been Blair Gabbardies. The old F-bomb champ from last year. Morgan Dorr, the old super sub. Good to see Morgan back again. Way for the last couple of monthly challenges. Braden Carroll fastest in the second sector. In a green and a purple, so he's looking pretty good as he comes up across the line. What does he go? Do a 17.4. Straight away, Winter a 16.9. Goes to the top. Clear Gabbardies. Done a 17.1. So everyone getting down in the faster time bracket there. Trying to see where Billy Manson is, a 16.5. Got 3 odd tenths over Corbin Winter. Billy Manson want plenty of vents down here.
Braden Carroll, fastest in
Corbin
Sector
Winter.
1.
Good battle between those two tonight for sure. And we'll see how Gabbardies go. Shane Edgar too, good to see him back here for a race night. Doing a lot of sim racing up in competitions in Australia. Shane Edgar has sim set up at home. Most of these guys really have got sims. I think Corbin Winter's got quite a good one at home. Braden Carroll, purple and a green. Down there in 4th place at the moment. It's dropped down to 5th. Morgan Dorr 16.5. Times are coming down. There we go. 15.7 from Billy Manson. I think he did a 15.5 earlier on this evening. Hamish Brader, the HOSS boss, out there too. He's at the back of the pack on a 17.9.
15.5 for Shane Edgar.
15.5, a couple of tenths between himself, Manson. About 8 tenths back to Morgan Dorr. Corbin Winter been talking him up a bit. He's here in 4th place, so he's got a wee bit of work to do there, the young chap. Gabbardies 5th, Rowley 6th. Braden Carroll, so we've got some good drivers in here tonight, Brendan. Not often you see Billy Rowley sitting down there in 6th place. Or Braden Carroll for that fact. Here comes Carroll again. 7th at the moment. Can he go up the time tree a little bit? He does. He goes to the top of 15.4. Look at that. 10th over Shane Edgar. That's brilliant driving there from Braden Carroll. Time is up on the clock too. Here comes the rest of them. It's a Carroll from Edgar at the moment. Morgan Dorr. 4 of them in the 15s. Billy Rowley, who would have thought a low 16 to have you in 4th place. 5th place in the end for Billy Rowley.
Let's see who's fast on the cold tyres.
Yeah, well, I think Braden Carroll is, because he likes going sideways. So here he goes. 10-lap race here at Anglesey. Braden Carroll, Shane Edgar on the front row. Good door, Billy Manson, Billy Rowley, Corbin Winter, Gabbardies and Brader, and we're off. Pretty good start by everybody as we head down to the first corner. Quite a fast corner of the 3rd gear. Who's going to get through there quite nicely? Everyone, in fact. But it's going to be Shane Edgar snuck up the inside. There goes Corbin Winter up the inside also of Morgan Dorr. Morgan Dorr's gone down to 5th place. A couple of guys spat off. One of them is Morgan Dorr.
Scenery, I think.
And Shane Edgar as well off the front row. There's Shane Edgar there in the Altezza. Bad luck once again for him. First lap blues for Shane Edgar. And Corbin Winter finds himself in 4th place out in front as they head up the hill to the heavy braking zone for the first time. Tyres and brakes will still be cold. Second gear around the corner. Who was that running wide? Billy Manson it was. Lost a few spots in the green and white car. He's gone down to 6th place. Someone in front of him, I think it's Rowley in the 10 car, also getting sideways as they head back up the hill.
Shane Edgar has another moment there in the back of shot.
There's a brake lock up from Brader too. And Morgan Dorr finds himself down the back of the pack. So it's a Winter from Gavities and Carroll. He goes, I think that's Billy Rowley and Braden Carroll. Corbin Winter finds himself out in front to lead lap 1. Back down in the heavy braking zone. Winter in the green car tonight, car number 13. That's Brader at the back there. He's in 6th place actually. Edgar and Dore, a wee bit of work to do further back. 10 lap race though, so plenty of time to come back. Corbin Winter up to a second now over Braden Carroll. Here comes the leaders up the hill to the heavy braking zone. That's 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. Braden Carroll, bit of a lock up. There Gavities is in fact in the blue and yellow car. Number 54, he's got Rowley tucked in behind him. Rowley looking a wee bit racy up the inside in the 10 car. Up over the brow of this hill, which you've got to be very, very patient with. Hanson tucked in behind in the green and white car. Down through the right-hander, getting a wee bit out of shape there is Billy Rowley. Blair Gavities it was. So it's once again Winter leads by a second and a half this time over Carroll. Bit of a gap back to Rowley. Leads the next bunch through. Billy Manson, Blair Gavities and Hamish Brader not too far off that lot as well. With the second gear right hand corner. Nard heading back up the hill. Goes Shane Egger there. Nard off the front row, finds himself down in 7th. Walkendore at the rear. It's under a second now, the gap 1st to 2nd. We go here, Corbin Winter in the 13 car. Braden Carroll looking pretty racy in behind in the grey Altezza. About that 2nd mark. Over the crest of the hill and the run downwards. Of oversteer going on from Braden Carroll. Billy Rowley, he goes there on the 10 car, takes a bit of curb there. Billy Manson up to 4th. So near the midpoint of the race, Brendan, the tyres will be coming on quite nicely. Gap's still around that 1 second mark. First two guys, Brader out there in the grass, the HOSS boss, and he's still trying to gather it up. Oh, Shane Egger comes flying past, and just waiting for a wee bit of a touch there as Brader tried to gather things up. And I think Morgan Dore won't be too far away from sneaking through there as well. There goes Gavities on the back of Manson.
I think Shane Edgar needs to go buy himself a lotto ticket there, Paul.
I would say, mind you, he's down there in 6th place. Probably won't get a winner out of it. There he is, hard on the brakes. Yep, 1st, 2nd and 3rd. Keeping it nice and steady there, Braden Carroll. I think he's worked out that sideways isn't the fastest way around. Takes plenty of curb downhill section. And getting, well, I was going to say he's getting closer, but it's still around that 1 second. Corbin Winter, fastest lap of the race, and Braden Carroll comes through as well, 15.3. Fastest lap we've seen all night. Billy Rowley, Billy Manson sitting there in 3rd and 4th. Manson there. Everybody's not too far behind them. 6-speed H-pattern boxes in these things, so it's keeping the guys busy tonight. There's no sequential pedal shift. She's all H-pattern. Morgan Dore started off the front row and he's down the back at the moment, trying to make the best of a bad situation. Here comes the battle for the lead, a wee bit closer this time. Braden Carroll down to 8/10 of a second. Only halfway through So just biding his time, waiting for a mistake from the young fella. But looking pretty sharp at the moment. Closest he's been all race now, Braden Carroll. Under half a second there as they come back across the straight. Head back up the hill. 15-1 from Braden Carroll. And it looks like he's about to put some pressure on. Might try and go around the outside here, do the crossover. And you'll see he had gives Winter a bit of a tap from behind, but Winter closed the door on him. He had a better run out of that corner than Carroll. But still Corbin Winter, he'll be looking in his mirrors pretty hard at the moment. Braden Carroll, Billy Rowley starting to catch these two as well, a couple of seconds further back. Here's Manson at the bottom of the hill there in the green and white car. Here goes Carroll, wee bit of a brake lock up. He'll try and go wide here and come up the inside. You see the difference in the speed there as they get out. He just had a bit of a gather up there on the steering wheel. Lucky to hang on to it. Now he's going to have a wee sneak up the inside as they go up over the top of the hill, side by side. He'll try and stay there with them as they come down the hill through the left-hander, but no, he's had to pull back in. It's allowed Billy Rowley to get a wee bit closer there in third place. Down through the right-hander. Back down onto the front straight. Keeping the pressure on as Braden Carroll as they come round to reel off another one. Still Corbin Winter from Carroll. Rowley's going to get in the mix here in a minute shortly, and not too far off Manson as well. Now he's having a look around the outside as Braden Carroll. Can he keep it there? On board with Billy Rowley. Oh, he gets a wee bit tail happy there as he tries to get the power down Braden Carroll. Pulls back in. Try and get what sort of slipstream you can in one of these big tanks is Billy Rowley. Now I was hoping these two is going to have a bit of a coming together as Carroll now. Can he get a pass done up at the top of the hill? Going to try and sneak down the inside and force Winter wide. Winter's going to try and still keep that inside line. Down in the braking zone, heavy braking zone it is. Winter hangs on to it. Comes across and just cuts the nose off Carroll. So he couldn't get the inside line for the next corner. And hangs on to it. Manson now in the background. Not too far away either. The right-hander up and over the top of the hill. He comes Rowley putting some pressure on Carroll. Back down through the left-hander. Still Corbin Winter hanging on, getting a wee bit out of shape. It's the first time we've really seen Winter get out of shape. Gets a bit of a tap from behind from Carroll, letting him know he's there. Here goes Rowley. Going to try and keep it nice and straight. 3 wide as they come down across the line. Rowley trying to go around the outside of Braden Carroll as they go through on the left-hander, heading up the hill towards the right-handed hard braking zone. And Winter, he might lose the lead here perhaps, as now Carroll's got his nose in front, still side by side the two of them as they come up the hill. Through this, a very fast left-hander gets a wee bit of a nudge. Through the right-hander I should say, it's third or fourth gear through here. High-speed stuff. Last thing he wants a wee touch now as they head along the straight. Wind around up the hill. Rowley's in the mix as well. Looks like Carroll's got the inside line for the next corner if he can keep it there. And to get the braking done. Rowley's going to try and go up the middle. Just hits the back of Winter, puts him out of shape a bit. Winter's still got the inside line. It comes through into the side of Braden Carroll. That should be a penalty for sure, that one. There's no way he was going to make the corner and spins Braden Carroll around Corbin Winter. We should see a penalty for that for sure. There was no way through the young fella, but he tried to do it the best he could. But in the end, Billy Manson comes through out the other end in front from Corbin Winter, who's sitting there in second with perhaps a penalty coming his way. If it was you and me on the judiciary, Brendan, that would certainly be a penalty. And Billy Rowley getting a wee bit out of shape too. Big tank slapper on. And manages to keep it in third. She's all on a wee bit further back. Blair Gabbardy's. Shane Eggers fought his way up to fifth. Braden Carroll now in sixth. Was fighting for the lead and now finds himself back in sixth place. But Billy Manson just sitting there doing his bizzo. And it comes out the other end in front. We should see him there in the green and white car, Billy Manson. Corbin Winter about a second further back than Billy Rowley. Still a couple of laps left to go. Through the right-handed hairpin up the hill. And through this wee right-hander up to the crest of the hill and then downhill. Here at Anglesey on the coast in England. So you see Manson, he likes throwing the thing around a wee bit in the back too, does Billy Manson. And he's going to come round and get the last lap ball this time. And look how close it is in behind. Winter, then Rowley, Gabbardies, Shane Edgar. Good comeback from Shane Edgar. Hamish Brader's way down the back of the pack, 20 odd seconds further down. He's obviously had a couple of moments. But Shane Edgar in the middle of this battle pack here. Braden Carroll trying to make a couple of spots up on the last lap if he can get the job done. For the fast eights. The run up the hill looking pretty good for Billy Manson. I was saying good to see him back. He's been away for the last few race nights. But traditionally in the fast eights every time. Back up the hill. Look in the background, you see Billy Rowley all over the back of Corbin Winter. They come up to the highest point of the track here. Then back down through the left-right combination. Looking pretty good for Billy Manson. Corbin Winter with a bit of a question mark beside his move a wee bit earlier on. He'll come across the line in second, but we'll wait and see what is done about that. Further down the track, Billy Rowley third, Blair Gabbardies fourth, and Shane Edgar in the end a good recovery back to fifth place after starting off the front row of the grid. Braden Carroll, Morgan Dorr and Hamish Brader there, thinking he's still in the rally car. So great stuff, Brendan, some good racing there, and in the end I think the young chap just a wee bit ambitious move down in the low hairpin, which put Braden Carroll off. So towards Braden Carroll, I'll be a bit pissed off about that, that's for sure. Great stuff. We'll have another wee break. There goes the results right there. Manson, Winter, Rowley, Gabbardies, Edgar, Carroll, Dorr and Hamish Brader. We'll be back shortly with the Tier 3 guys back.
All right, so now we've come over to the other side of the world, a circuit you'll be all familiar with. Euromark, Ruapuna Raceway with the V8 Supercars. We'll see if these pilots can keep it on the island as they go through pothole. So once again, 6-minute qualifying session, and then we have a 10-minute 10-lap race. Currently got the Tier 3 drivers hot-footing the Supercars around Ruapuna Raceway. Not quite the 66,000 people we had the recent Supercars round, but a nice day in Christchurch nevertheless. Just waiting for the cars to come over the start-finish line and start the clock. Their 6-minute session. Coming down the infield straight. Right, just the first strikeout, 144.1 for Paul Beams. Paul R2, 144.8, 149. Paul Lancaster, Paul Hammer to 152. When the Supercars were there earlier this year, they might have got down into the 121, so we'll see what our hot shots can do. Okay, there's Mitch Hamilton. He had a starting outing earlier on this evening in the Altezza Cup car, racing at Anglesey. Now we're on board. We twitch the wheel. Leads on the power. Ooh, keeps it on the circuit. Okay, down to the sweeper he goes. Down through the sequential gearbox. Oh, just a little bit of opposite lock. Coming onto the main straight. Let's see what Mitch Hamilton can do. 124.8. The Paul Beams goes through. 125.9. Paul R2. 27.5. Mitch Hamilton first to put his stake in the ground, a 124.8. For Amos Hardacre, still getting his iron. And the Bendix Camaro. Looks like he managed to keep it on the circuit going through pothole. We're looking at the back of Paul Beams' machine. Currently second fastest, 125.9. He's heading down to the Weeper now. Coming on to the main straight. Gets a little bit of opposite lock on also as he heads up to the line. $124.5 for Paul Beams, but Mitch Hamilton's gone faster. 124.4. So three drivers now into the 124s. Mitch Hamilton, Paul Beams. Hamish Brader. Fastest first sector, Mitch Hamilton. What's he got left in the tank? Less than a minute to go before the flag will come out to end the qualifying session. Through the infield goes Mitch Hamilton. Fastest middle sector. Here he goes, just feed the power in nicely, coming onto the main straight. Keeps it tidy, up through the gears in the Chevy. What can he do? 123.2. In that he didn't have the fastest first sector either, so there could be a little bit more time on board. Oh, 123.2 Mitch Hamilton, Hamish Brader 123.6, Paul R2 123.8. Then we pop into the 124s, Paul Hammond 124.5, Beams 124.5, Lancaster 126.7. Fastest sector 1, Hamish Brader. Fastest sector 3, Mitch Hamilton. Will he get to the line? Finish this lap. Already on provisional pole with his 1:23.2 that he set earlier. On up to the line. (22.357). Right, so there we go. That's going to set the grid. Mitch Hamilton, Hamish Brader, Latu, Hammond, Beams, Lancaster, Hardacre and Kernahan. 10 laps from the Ruapuna Raceway, Christchurch in the V8 Supercars. Waiting for the lights. 2, 3, 4. And we're away. Good launch from the front row. However, it looks like the Supra is going to be first into the corner. Hamish Brader. Oh, one of the Mustangs out into the scenery. Paul Lancaster just coming to grips. Moving up from the Altezza to the Mustang. Brader leads Hamilton. Hammond. Into the hairpin. Mitch Hamilton back in the lead in the Chevy. Brader and Hammond now having a little bit of a nudge in the Supras. Heading through the infield. Latu, Beams, Hardacre, Kernahan, Lancaster had the moment off the first corner in the Mustang. Mitch Hamilton now starting to pull away from the rest of the pack. Just looking at the back of Hamilton's car to pull Latu. He's got Beams all over his rear bumper. It's a little bit squirrely. Oh, into the wall goes Beams as they head down the main straight. Drops him back through the pit. So Hamilton stretched his lead out to a 2.5. All Kernahan's now out in the scenery in the Monster Energy Mustang. Paul Hammond carrying Chaz's number 1 GR Supra, trying to hunt down Hamish Brader. Hamilton still got a 1 second lead. The Chevy a bit loose. Coming out of the right hander is Paul Hammond. Latu just easing up onto his bumper. Get down to less than a second. There you go, coming on to the Ruapuna main straight. Still Hamilton, Brader, Hammond, Latu. Beams back up to 5th, then Hardacre, Lancaster and Kernahan. Paul Latu in the DeWalt Camaro. Trying to hunt down the GR Supra. Meanwhile, Hamish Brader is closed down. Mitch Hamilton in the Camaro. Out of the hairpin he goes. Nice tight line. Hamish Brader. Hamilton, one eye ahead, one eye in his mirrors. Hamish Brader, get up on his bumper, get a run down the main straight. Hamilton just doing enough at the moment. Got a wider line coming onto the straight. That'll give him a good run. The grass there from Hamish Brader. Hamilton, 2/10 out of him. Here we go. But on the circuit, into the hairpin, down through the gears. Hamilton, go down low in the Camaro. Get a line through there for, and gives him another couple of tenths. Camaro. Driving away from Hamish Brader. Keep her onto the main straight once again. To start lap 5 of 10. Sprint round from Ruapuna Raceway. 1:21.9. So Hamilton's getting the job done now. Maro. Oh, lock up there from Hamish Brader. You see back Paul Hammond still lurking in the background. The Supra. Down to the hairpin. Early on the power, Mitch Hamilton. Just keeping that lead over a second over the Supra of Hamish Brader. Third man Hamilton back to Latu in the D-Walt Maro. These four. Rest of the fields, 4 seconds back to Paul Beams, then Hardacre, Lancaster and Kernahan. Once again into the sweeper. Lap 6 now. Hamilton keeping Brader at bay. Brader's taken a couple of tenths out of Mitch Hamilton. Back on the bumper, the Sharon Rentals Chevy. What can he do in the next 4 laps? Power on early, there we can just see Hamilton out of shot. Hamilton takes a wide line on the entry to the sweeper. It's a good run onto the main straight. Lock up there from Hamish Brader. The Supra. Gap down to less than half a second though. 4 seconds further back to Hammond. Into the hairpin once again they go. All over the bumper of Mitch Hamilton's Camaro. And he forced a mistake. through the infield. Wide there from Hamish Brader in the Supra. A little bit tail happy. Gives Hamilton a couple of tense breathing space. Artu having a steady fourth on the DeWalt Camaro. They get onto the back of Hammond. 3 laps to go. Under that wide to the main straight. Sprader managing to keep half a second to Hamilton. 2 seconds back to Hammond. Paul Artu. Walt Camaro. Does he fancy his chances? He get a spot on the podium. Well, that's been going on. Brader's got past Hamilton to take the lead. Oh, might have spoken too soon. Out in the grass there as Brader allows Hamilton to get right up on his tail. Tries to have a look around the outside. Can't make an opportunity there. Brader gets a better drive off the corner and takes a couple of lengths out of it. Like it all could come down to the wire. Short back straight to the sweeper. Hamilton has been getting a better run out of the sweeper. What can he do? Can you get in the toe? Make a charge down the straight. 2 laps to go for the race leader, Hamish Brader. Down through the gears, out on the brakes. Into the hairpin and down there now. Hamilton has a look down the inside, pulls back in line to get a run out of the hairpin. While all this is going on, that's allowing Hammond and Latu pull up onto the leaders. The curb there for Hamilton and the Chevy. Well, has a look down the inside. Almost a nudge. Very tight line there. Oh, a bit of a nudge back there. Hamilton gets past Latu. Okay, last lap board will be out. Race leader still Hamish Brader. Managed to keep Mitch Hamilton at bay on that lap. What can Hamilton do with 1 lap to go? Great lock up from race leader Hamish Brader at the Supra. Bit of grass. Over the far side of the circuit they go. Getting down to the hairpin. Hamilton hunting down Brader in the Toyota. Then it's Hammond, Latu on the final lap. He just got his lead out to over a second. Keep it tidy from here. Hamilton out into the grass and the Chevy using all of the circuit and some. Okay, down the back straight for the last time. The race leaders. So, race 1 of the Supercars this evening will go to Hamish Brader in the Supra. And it's Hamilton, the Chevy, Hammond, Latu. Beams will go through for 5th. They're just having a little bit of trouble in the Bendix Chevy. Just needs to get it to the flag. Onto the main straight he goes for the last time. He's going to take 6th. Ben Kernahan in the Monster Energy Mustang. He's going to bring it home for 7th. And it will be Paul Lancaster. Tries to take a very short cut there in the Liquid Molly Mustang. Looks like it might be beached out on the circuit. Here I was thinking Paul was a big Ford fan. So, Mr. Lancaster, Supercars at Ruapuna, what did you think of that?
Mud, mate, mud. As soon as you cook a front tyre, you're rooted, really. Just keep going off at turn 1. You would think I would identify as a cat man out there in the kitty litter. Know what the rest of the race is like, Brendan, but pretty mud from being at the back.
Oh, plenty of entertainment up at the front of the field. No, getting into the 121s, which is what the Supercars were doing when they were there this year. So the sim racing definitely on a par with the real thing at Ruapuna. So now we're waiting for the qualifying session for the Tier 2 field. Once again.
Yeah, been interesting to see how they go. You're going from an Altezza that's got no power to the V8 Supercars got plenty of power. But they do require a wee bit of acceleration to get them to rotate around the corner. Not that I really knew that much about it, but however, Ruapuna looks pretty good up on the screen from where we're sitting. Dallas Redhead, Tim Horn, Braden Carroll, Billy Manson, Mark Lister and Sam Daly are 6 drivers. So, no doubt it's about a 6-lap qualifying. They're just having a wee bit of a feeler at the moment. You'll probably see a lot of those cars getting out in the grass once again at Pothole. Track limits pretty good through here with being able to cut the corners quite nicely.
You would just see a trail of oil coming off the rear wing of some of those cars.
Those 6 minutes qualifying, away they go. The way out. Good crowd in there, Ruapuna here today by the looks of it. Everyone jostling for position when really just give yourself a wee bit of room. Scotty Kinder there on the number 20 Snowy River Caravan's entry. Mark Lister in the Penrite car. He's giving himself a wee bit of room there. It does pay to work those tyres up, try and get as much heat into them as you possibly can. Come back down into the hairpin there. And the lovely liveries there. Sam Daly in the Shell V-Power car. 17, keep your eyes on that. Dallas Redhead. The Deer livery. Fix it. Oh, that's someone out there, the Optus car. Oh, getting out of shape already. It's coming back on, but there's the warm-up lap. Oh, there's the car Ryan Wood would normally be in, parked up. Pretty hard to keep on the track, Brendan, to be honest. Being patient and not try to outbrake yourself's the thing.
Try not to race another car while you're qualifying.
Braden Carroll does in the Optus Mobile 1 car, so The Ellis Redhead, the first one across the line at 1 minute 40. We'll see these times come down. Obviously, Tim Horn in the Andre Heimgartner AJ Batteries car. Heading up through the right-hand corner into Pothole, where the Supercars had all the issues up there a few weeks ago.
So the Tier 1 drivers, their first hot laps were sort of in the 123s, and they tumbled down from there as they got more temperature into their tyres and come to grips with the track.
Tim Horn, first car on the track. Taking it nice and easy through there. It's hard to try and get the gear changes right, Brendan. You're sort of in second gear through here even, you know, like.
Guess you sort of want a 2.5, do you?
On board with Tim Horn, comes around the penultimate corner. Looking pretty good at the moment, a couple of green sectors for him. He'll be the first one to set a relative time. He comes through a 1 minute 23.9 from him. 23.6 from Sam Daly, 23.5 Braden Carroll. Let's read here to 24.3, Scotty Kinder 25.3. And a Billy Manson yet to post a time. Billy Manson, Mark Lister, he's done a 55, so he's yet to really lay one down. Sam Daly, fastest first sector, 26.0. Oh, and he cooks it. Just gets out of shape, locking the rears up, coming into that right-left combination. Ended up out in the grass, so that lap won't be counted for Sam, even though he's gone green in the first sector. Time to beat at the moment at 23.2. Braden Carroll. Day 23.6. Tim Horn 23.9. To see these times come down a wee bit further. Bailey with I think Braden Carroll in front of him. Come down across the line again. Tim Horn at 22.09. Redhead 22.6. 21.3 from Braden Carroll. So time's coming down. Daly in the Shell V-Power car. Tucked in behind that car in front. I'd be inclined just to back off a little bit or try and get past like what he's doing. Now he's going to go wide, is he? He'll slow him up a wee bit. And the Mobile 1 car, which I think is Billy Manson. Ruapuna track, obviously up in Christchurch. You're up there, Brendan, for the V8 Supercars. What was your take on it?
I think it was an amazing event to bring to the Central South Island. They put it at the right circuit. I know that one of the other circuits in the South Island would really like it there, but I think you've got the population base in Christchurch, you've got the accommodation, and you can see virtually all of the circuit from just about anywhere on the circuit. If we could have it at a warmer time of the year, that might be a little bit of an advantage, but I think all the punters that were there had an awesome time. We got some great racing. So fastest sector 2, Braden Carroll. Currently
Tim
on
Horn looking pretty good too.
Yeah.
21.1 from Braden Carroll this time. Tim Horn at 21.6. M. Daly still doing a good job there in third place, 22.5. Redhead 22.6. Billy Manson yet to post a lap time. It's a wee bit surprising.
Oh, it's just like the real thing. These two cars all over each other.
Yeah.
Going around the back side of the circuit.
He's getting out of shape anyway, the Optus car. Oh, someone's in the wall there. That's Billy Manson. He's gone for a reset. Can't be too much time left on the clock. Done a 22.4, so he's put himself up to third, Billy Manson. He's in the pit, he's just resetting his car. He's obviously done a bit of damage putting it into the wall. Can take, I think during qualifying, can take 30 odd seconds for it to reset. They won't just send you straight back out to the track. So the time is up. Here goes Tim Horn. What he can do this time across the line, a 21.6. He's got to find half a second somewhere. Doesn't look like he's gone any quicker. Sam Daly still sitting in fourth place. Shoved out of that P3 by Billy Manson. Manson only did the one hot lap, one time lap, a 1:22.4. He's still got a wee bit in the bag there, but it's Braden Carroll, Tim Horn in the front row, Billy Manson, Sam Daly, Redhead Lister and Scotty Kinder. Out the 7 cars for the Tier 2 tonight. See how they go 10 laps here at Ruapuna. Braden Carroll got the 4 lights just waiting on the start line. And there we go. Oh, someone there in the Shell V-Power car. Who's
Daly
that?
didn't go anywhere.
Not going anywhere. And I think it was Sam Daly back in the Shell V-Power car.
Lister had to go round him but got through.
Yeah, I don't think he had his foot on the clutch when he plucked a gear, which wouldn't help too much. And he's had to start off the back. Oh, a few F-bombs going off already. I think that was Billy Manson as Braden Carroll works his way through in the Optus car. Through pothole, wee bit of understeer going on there for Dallas Redhead, I think it was, in fourth place. 2 Mobil 1 cars. Oh, wee bit of argy-bargy towards the rear of the field. Mark Lister and Dallas Redhead. Redhead's managed to get back up in front of Scotty Kinder. Gets a wee bit out of shape as he gets a kiss from Kinder, from Redhead. And she's tight through the middle section. First gear around here, first or second gear. I was plucking first around this corner too, Brendan. Second gear wasn't enough, as that's Manson, is it, running wide. Horn manages to get through the RJ Batteries car, so Manson back to third now. Tim Horn trying to keep that good run going. And Braden Carroll is out in front by just under 2 seconds. Come round to complete lap number 2. So, bit of argy-bargy going on first things. Oh, just hits the wall, Billy Manson. And ends up way out the infield. He's away out there seeing Mr. Two Pies out there and seeing what's going on. Don't know where he's going to come back onto the track there, but he's going to fall right to the back of the pack for sure. And you just come round onto the front straight, hit the wall and fired him off into the infield. A real shame for Billy Manson. Here he is way in the background, no doubt done a bit of damage too, I'd say. It's Braden Carroll by a couple of seconds up into the hairpin. Tim Horn hanging on the second. That's Redhead, the fix-it car. Hopefully he doesn't have to do after this race. Good run in the race number 1 here in the Altezza. Had a second place, taking out the race win. He's currently sitting third. The Penrite car just in front of Redhead. Carroll in front of them how to do it. Who I think had a bit of a coming together in the first race too, didn't they? And then Mr. managed to get through and gapped it by about 3 or 4 seconds in the end to take the race win from Redhead. Back round onto the back straight. Not the longest back straight in New Zealand by any stretch of the imagination, but certainly carrying enough speed down there into turn 1. Especially when you're hard on the brakes here, very easy to get out in that grass, and once you're over that 4 wheels in the grass, you're in that kitty litter.
Seen the odd vehicle towed out of there over the years.
A lot of history down there, isn't there? Especially back in before they changed the track, there used to be a hairpin turn there. I remember racing there back in the 80s, about 86, 87.
In the Viva?
In the old Viva pre-65s. And had the big concrete walled hairpin down in there.
When I was in short pants, they had a photo of the PDL1 and PDL2
That's right, yeah.
going around that hairpin.
Had one of those posters when I was a kid. And the odd death or two down there too over the years too. Brent Hawthorne, a bit of a nasty down there many years ago.
I'm just watching
So
Redhead.
putting the pressure on now is the Redhead on Lister. Get about Braden Carroll. He's slowly running away. That's a slap again. 3 seconds back to Timmy Horn. Mark Lister on board with Mark Lister now, looking back at Redhead. Then you got Tinder, Sam Daly not too far away either, so it's pretty close in the mid-pack. From second, well, from third back, the second and a half covering 4 cars. Great shot there through pothole along the southern straight. First gear around the hairpin. Keeping it nice at the moment, Mark Lister. Coming up to a tricky wee section here, the wee left-right combination. Second gear he's in. It picks third and back fourth. He's Billy Manson we've got to now.
Kinder's off on the scenery in the background there, Paul, in the snowy river car.
Oh, getting a wee bit out of shape, Mark Lister. Just got a wheelie on the grass here and spun her up momentarily. It's allowed Redhead to put a bit of pressure on as they head back down to the last corner. Redhead up the inside, trying to run Lister wide. Looks like he may have got the job done, Redhead, does he? No. Lister comes across the front of him. Fastest lap of the race, Braden Carroll with 21.7. Halfway through the race. There's still a long way to go in this race, that's for sure. So Lister still hanging on to that third place. Redhead now trying to get side by side with him as they run up to the pothole. Be the wee right-hander here. Might have the inside running as Redhead try and run Lister out in the grass, but in fact he's lost a few spaces and he's going to come together there with Sam Daly, who had a couple of wheels out in the grass. Throw a tea towel over these 3 guys at the moment through the right-left combination. Quite high the ripple strips through there too. I'm trying to stay off them if you can. And round through here. It's like Sam Daly might be trying to have a sniff up the inside of Dallas. Redhead gets a wee bit out of shape. Don't know if he got a tap on his way through. Still putting the pressure now on the Penrite car. Lister's gone wide. He's going to lose a couple of spots. Gone from third down to fourth. Sam Daly's gone up one. So's Redhead. Back up to that third place. Meantime out in front, Braden Carroll. Fastest lap, 21.4 now. 5 seconds back to Tim. Oh, who's that? And that was Sam Daly giving Dallas Redhead a big serve coming onto the front straight. That might...
I think Redhead might have got out of shape first, though.
Well, I didn't quite see it, but didn't hear Redhead yelling out the old F-bomb, so maybe it was his fault, but nonetheless, it could be worth another look. Here is your race leader, Braden Carroll. 5 seconds, doing it easy at the moment. Your former Tier 2 champion, Braden Carroll. A couple of seasons back. Fourth place. A couple of spots. To get one back on Redhead though, thanks to Sam Daly for giving him a bit of a helping hand off the track. Braden Carroll, that's Sam Daly. Don't know much about Sam, I think it's his first race night tonight. Haven't really seen him on the leaderboards as such, but sitting in third place at the moment, doing a good job, a couple of seconds in front of Mark Lister. Redhead a wee way back there, Scotty Kinder, Billy Manson a lap down after having that hit into the wall and then being spat out in the infield. take a wee bit of stopping too once you're out in the grass. Okay. Starting to gap themselves now. 5 seconds between first and second. Get another 4.5 wide back to third. Oh, Sam Daly just about out breaking himself into the hairpin. Taking the high line. Mark Lister around about 2 seconds behind. Brake lock up. Oh, he's out in the grass. Sam Daly just overcooking it. It's going to allow Mark Lister to sneak back through up to third place. Just trying to be a wee bit racy there, Sam Daly, when really he had a couple of seconds over Mark Lister, and now he's got it all to do again with 3 odd laps left to go. And now it's his turn to get a couple of wheels out the grass, Mark Lister. Tyres starting to go off a wee bit. Doesn't take long to cook one tyre, and that's Braden Carroll. Braden Carroll from second place. He looks like he's stuck on the track. He's not going anywhere. And he's stuck. Finally gets it unhooked off the cable trap. But he's definitely got a mechanical of some sort going on, Braden Carroll. And from second place, yes, we hear the old fuck's sake coming in. First time of the night. And it's Braden Carroll, and rightly so, getting the car beached. And it's underway again, but he's fallen down to 6th place. Not too sure. He must have done that on his own because he was out in front, Brendan. 5 seconds out in front, Braden Carroll, and he's cooked it. Got it stuck on the ripple strip and finds himself down in 6th place now. And also going a lap down by the looks of it. A wee bit of work to do with only 2 laps left to go, that's for sure. So Tim Horn finds himself out in front now. Won't hear the end of this. Timmy Horn's mates, if he gets this one into the bag, Brendan, he'll be talking about it till next week. Sam Daly, well, he'll have something to talk about too if he can keep it in front of Mark Lister. Lister there on screen in the Penrite car. They'll be going hammer and tongs all night, these two. And at the moment, Sam Daly sitting there in second. Tim Horn out to just about 7 seconds with a couple of laps left to go. Looking pretty sharp for him at the moment, Tim. He's had a pretty good night tonight. Hasn't really been off track at all, really. They come down to reel off another one. 2 laps left to go. Mark Lister, what can he do now in the Penrite car? He's got a 1.5 seconds now to Sam Daly. Seen Sam go off there all of his own accord there a couple of laps ago, which allowed Lister through. And now Billy Manson from the back of the pack set the fastest lap, Brendan, a 1:21.2. Got a bit of hanger going up there, Billy. If you can't get the race win, at least get the fastest lap in the bag. Very difficult wee section through here. You've got to be very, very patient. Oh, there he goes, just cooking it, Mark Lister, locking the brakes up. Do require a wee bit of acceleration, Brendan, around through the corners with the fixed rear axle, and that's what can, if you don't ride that accelerator a wee bit, that's when the understeer comes in, so you need to try and bring the rear around just nice and gently on the accelerator. There goes Sam Daly, 6.5 seconds to Tim Horn, the race leader, and then another 6 seconds further back to third place car, just in the background there. Got a half a straight. Last thing you want to do is cook yourself here and just taking it nice and easy. You see the brakes still nice and hot even after he's come out of the corner. On board with them here into pothole. Staying off the curb there, I found you could chuck a couple of tyres up in there quite nicely. Take a wee bit of angle out of the corner, down to first gear. Through the hairpin. Up to second. Third. I was going back to first here. I thought it's like Sam is. Probably pick second halfway through here and then go back to first again just on the entry of this corner. Choosing to stay into second gear. Oversteer on the exit.
So Sam's doing all right on the last lap.
I see those two poles are still standing in that corner, so no one's been taking the shortcut across there. On board with the race leader, Tim Horn. Got it down to 2 seconds now, so it was 5 or 6 a lap or so ago. So Sam Daly will be starting to look in front thinking, I've got a lap to go. Oh no, it's the race winner already, Tim Horn. Great stuff from him. Sam Daly second, Mark Lister third, Redhead fourth in the end. Then it's the best of the rest. Scotty Kinder getting a bit of a hit from behind from Braden Carroll. Carroll trying to get a spot back on the last corner. I think Kinder will hang on to that 5th place. And Billy Manson setting the fastest lap, but will finish 7th. Who's that? Billy Manson's parked it. So great stuff. Tim Horn takes the race win. Probably all that weight he's lost, Brendan. Look, he's looking a bit slim. Is Tim Horn.
Got down to his race weight, has he?
Got down to his race weight. Sam Daly second, Lister third, Redhead, Kinder, Braden Carroll. Billy Manson gets the fastest lap of the race. But it counts for bugger all though when you finish in 7th. Great stuff. What do you make of that one, Brendan?
Well, liking the V8 Supercars around Ruapuna. A good job, Tim Horn. Made the most of his opportunity when it was handed to him, but
That's
at the
right.
end there, Sam Daly
kept it nice and tidy.
Sam Daly took 3 seconds out of him nearly over the last couple of laps. So
yeah, it was closing. I thought there was another lap to go, but obviously I'm a lap behind everybody else, just like I was in the race, Brendan. So
if we had the opportunity to have a look at that earlier incident with Dallas Redhead coming on to the main straight when he lost it, we just wanted to know whether he had any assistance or whether he was a master of his own destiny.
Whatever you owned to Braden Carroll, just see him throwing his hands up in the air. No one to blame but himself. 6-second lead. So good clean racing at the end of the day. Timmy Horn. Good race win. He's had a good night, Tim. Isn't he? I haven't even seen you out in the grass. So what do you think to yourself when you seen Braden up on the grass there?
Yeah, it was a bit sad to see Braden there. It was nice having someone to follow, and then had a big gap behind, so I just thought I'd maintain it, make no mistakes, and then just get the win.
Another one, chalk it up. How many wins have you had down here now? Probably too many to count.
Yeah, quite a few in Tier 2. I just can't seem to make the Tier 1 cut, so we'll keep working towards it.
Oh, congratulations, mate. Keep it nice and tidy. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Timmy Horn there. Taking the honours, the top step. Braden Carroll over there, trying to do himself in the corner. Finishing 6th in the end. Take a short break. We'll be back shortly with, I think, the endurance race, Brendan. Righto, we've got the Fast 8 guys strapped in now. So again, this will be interesting to see how we go. Bear Gavity, Sam Reeford, Andrew Bruce, Corbin Winter, Billy Rowley, Shane Eager and Morgan Dorr. How they line up. Once again, they'll have a 6-minute qualifying session. Only really a couple of laps. I get out there as soon as possible, these guys. Fast 8, or the fast 7 I should say. And Shane Eager get on the front row again with Morgan Dorr. What can a wee bit of argy-bargy going on there already, Morgan Dorr and whoever's tucked in behind him. Just the warm-up lap, so someone at the back there, I think it's Shane Eager giving himself a bit of room. Again, a wee bit of banging and crashing going on. Someone pretty keen. Oh, it's still carrying on here. Wasn't that monster car? I'd be a little bit pissed off about that. It is Morgan Dorr in that car. Blair Gabbity's in the Snowy River. James Courtney, Dave Reynolds' car. Good luck there, Blair. A few of those Snowy River panels hanging up around a few places. Sam Reeford in the R&J Batteries. Ray Heimgartner car. All pretty close together, all these guys. Well, golden rule of qualifying, Brendan. Give yourself some clear air. Don't get caught up in anybody else's mess. Gabbity's is the man in front. See if he can hang on to it. The tyres will still be pretty cold. Take a couple of laps to really get the heat into them. Take them behind him.
Circuit the length through Ruapuna and only 7 cars, you should be able to find yourself space.
That's correct.
It's not like going out with a 40 car 2K Cup field.
These two bloody racing one another. Blair Gabbity's and Andrew Bruce. Bruce trying through. You can hit the brakes there, Andrew Bruce. He'll be getting a wee bit of a head of steam up, a wee bit of colour up in him. Starting to hold everyone else up and behind. The 5 cars there, all like that. Billy Rowley and Shane Edgar further back in the pack. Really should be the ones that are doing the quick time. Gabbity's couple of green sectors. Bruce will try and get through this time on Gabbity's. Couple of wheels out in the grass there, Billy Gabbity's. Through to reel off another one. 24, 23, 22, Morgan Dorr. Back there in the monster car. 3 for the 23.9. 3. Gabbity's and Winter and Rowley need to get to really post fast lap. Trying to have a wee look up the inside and the side of Gabbity's. There shouldn't be any of this going on in qualifying. I mean, really.
I think Beardo will be taking notes, Paul.
Could be any argy-bargy during qualifying, that's for sure. Someone's holding you up. Get back and give yourself some clear air. Bruce has gone purple in the first sector. Been held up a bit by Blair Gabbity's though, I feel. Tries to sneak up the inside this time, and now he's going to cook that lap. And it cooked Gabbity's lap as well. Look who snuck through, Morgan Dorr. Dorr in the Monster Energy car. He's trying to fight his way through. Andrew Bruce, a purple and a green. Could see a good time this time from him. Comes down across the line. One's really gone any faster. Rowley at 22.3. Dorr at 22.3. Or a 22.4. Yet to see a 21. Billy Rowley in the DeWalt car. He's one of the guys that's given himself plenty of clear air. Same with Shane Edgar. Rowley's gone green and purple, looking pretty good at the moment for Billy Rowley. Comes up to the last corner. Keeping right-hander. Get the power on nice and early. 34 seconds left in the qualifying session. What can Rowley do across the line? 21.0 is the answer. Couple of purple sectors. Got 1.2 seconds over the field at the moment. Over Morgan Dorr at least. Andrew Bruce, green middle sector, but a slower first one. See how he's managed to get through and got some clear air. Come through and get another lap underway anyway, with 10 seconds left. Andrew Bruce jumps up to second at 21.4. Corbin Winter up to third at 21.7. Morgan Dorr still with a bit of work to do. Shane Edgar, couple of green sectors. He's in the Liquimolly last Aaron Cameron car. Here he comes around the corner, gets a wee bit sideways, but lost a bit of time there as he comes down across the stripe. And what does he do? A 22.5. Lost a wee bit too much time there. And he's the last one across that won't make it through for another one. Big mistake at the last corner there for Shane Edgar. Didn't quite work for him. But it's Billy Rowley at 21.09. Here he comes again to reel off last one. If he goes any faster, we'll soon see. And he does, a 20.8. It's the first 20 of the night. And going to take a bit of beating, Brendan. Hey? But 6/10 of a second over Andrew Bruce. Gavity's getting held up a little bit by the Bendix car. He'll take the long way around there, Gavity, so he's going to lose a lot of time there as well. Come down across the stripe. Are they going to go any faster? Gavity's off number 7 and he's going to stay there. Like that's how it's going to end up. It's going to be Billy Rowley, Andrew Bruce in the front row, Corbin Winter, Morgan Dorr in the second row, Sam Reeford, Shane Edgar and Blair Gavities will start off the back. 20.8, got it by 6/10 of a second to Billy Rowley.
Billy Rowley got himself clear space.
Laid out of trouble. I'll go back to the grid. Back the track. Righto, Billy Rowley off the front. Waiting on the lights. See who can get away nicely. Get down to that first corner. Away we go. Everyone away to a pretty good start by the looks of it. Get power down. Andrew Bruce just got his nose in front of the Mobile 1K. He's got the outside line. He'll come across and should lead into turn 1. Rowley's going to have a wee sniff up the inside. Pretty ginger through here. All the tyres will still be cold. Getting the power down. And Rowley might have the inside line and in through pothole. And Andrew Bruce tries to turn in and into the side of Rowley. Then it's Morgan Dorr, was it? So Rowley now out in the dirt. And so is Andrew Bruce, the two of them. Now we find Corbin Winter just about got his nose in front in the Bendix car. Morgan Dorr tucked him behind in the Monster Energy car. Nigger up to third off the back row of the grid. Great start from him through the infield. Through the right-hander. Corbin Winter, the young fella, leads the way. From Morgan Dorr. Bit of a slide going. He gets a tank slapper going on. And Morgan Dorr tried to avoid him. Give him a bit of a hit in the rear in the end, but comes out in front. Shane Edgar comes out in front. Morgan Dorr hangs on to second place. Sam Reeford. Corbin Winter finds himself going from the lead back to 7th in the space of a couple of corners. So Shane Edgar got no excuses now. He can keep it out in front. He's doing a bit of V8 stuff there in the Aussie competitions, Brendan, so he should know his way around in one of these things. See, here he goes down the heavy braking zone on lap 2 through turn 1. Morgan Dorr, the old super sub from a couple of seasons ago, is running second. Sam Reeford, the Andre Heimgartner car. Blair Gavity's there in the Snowy River car, taking a lot of curb. Might come under some pressure now from Andrew Bruce in the Mobile 1 car. Oh, getting a wee bit out of shape. Billy Rowley there too has had a bit of a shit start from starting off the pole position, finds himself down in 6th.
I think Blair Gabbities might be moving more than once in the braking zone too there, Paul.
He's being very defensive. Bruce Rowley trying to get through. Andrew Bruce having a wee sniff up the inside, gives him a tap, tries to get him out of the way, and connects Billy Rowley on the way through. Gabbities has lost a couple of spots there. Was holding them up a little bit. In the end, Andrew Bruce, how's your mother? Blair Gabbities said, you're not that good, and where he went. Billy Rowley up to 4th. So there's our race leader Shane Edgar, getting awfully close to that grass. Not going to break up. Only got a second over Morgan Dorr. Sam Reeford having a good showing in this race so far. Billy Rowley there in the DeWalt car. Andrew Bruce, Blair Gabbities and Corbin Winter. A lot of work to do from the back of the pack. It's only lap 3 though. And only about 4 or 5 seconds behind this group here, so Shane Edgar out to 2 seconds now, back to Morgan Dorr. Morgan Dorr going to come under some pressure shortly from Sam Reeford. At the battle there, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th, pretty close together. Morgan Dorr in the Monster Energy car. Sam Reeford, the R&J Batteries car. I know Sam's quite a competitive person from what I've been told. Won't like finishing 2nd or 3rd, he likes to win. Sitting 3rd at the moment, on board with Morgan Dorr. Looking ahead at Shane Edgar, the race leader, in the heavy braking zone, hard on the brakes. Oh, he's a wee bit late there, I thought he was. Manages to gather it up though, Morgan Dorr. Bit of oversteer going on.
That allows Sam Reeford to get right on his bumper.
Yeah, and Billy Rowley's not far away from Sam Reeford either. Reeford has a wee look into the hairpin, but not really close enough. Oh, and who's that going wide? It was Morgan Dorr. Manages to come back across though. Just keeps his nose in front, but she's getting busy. Reeford, Rowley and Andrew Bruce getting in the mix shortly as well through the in section. Great stuff from the Fast 8. A bit of argy-bargy there. Sam Reeford in the sandwich here at the moment. Morgan Dorr, Monster car through the right left. Oh, and that's Billy Rowley just giving Reeford a bit of a hurry up, letting him know that he's there. Reeford will be looking forward with 2 eyes looking out the front, 1 eye out the back. Down the straight again. Who was that? Andrew Bruce getting a wee bit out of shape in the Mobile 1 car. Fastest lap of the race. Billy Rowley a 20.9. The only man that's been in the 20s all night. It's Billy Rowley in the DeWalt car, all over the back of Sam Reeford. Trying to put a bit of pressure on, just give him a wee bit of a tap. Let him know that he's here. Rowley's got a bit of a run down the straight. Might have a wee dive up the inside here in the hairpin. Got half a car in. But Reeford just about out breaks himself. Just about 3 wide now as Andrew Bruce is trying to get on the action, to get side by side with Rowley, but he won't have the correct line into the right hander. But looking pretty racy there is Andrew Bruce. Taking lots of curb left, right and centre. This is working into Shane Edgar's hands with these guys fighting themselves out. He's still only just under 2 seconds though, Shane Edgar. We have seen him have the old meltdown from out the front too, like a few of them have over the time. Just the odd one. Keeps us on the track, he might stay here tonight. Have seen him get out of the seat and walk straight out the front door before. Billy Rowley is out. What have you done, Billy? You done there?
Once many downshifts, blew the engine.
Oh, so Billy Rowley, a DNF there, he is parked in the infield, blew the engine. which you can do in these things. Even though it's sim racing, you've got to be pretty good on the machinery and not downshift too quick. Obviously blew the thing to bits, so Billy Rowley out of contention. Just look at Corbin Winter with 4 laps left to go, a couple of seconds off Blair Gabbardy's, which is this battle that's going on in front. Won't be too long before he's on the back of it. Shane Edgar still can't quite hit that 2-second mark, Brendan. Around about the 1.8.
No,
Kept it pretty.
Morgan Dawes keeping him in sight.
He is, even though Reeford's within a second. 3rd place. He goes Dorr. Looking pretty sharp at the moment. Sam Reeford, Andrew Bruce. The Optus car. There's Andrew Bruce there. He's won plenty of races here. Gets a wheel out over that ripple strip. Gets a wee bit sideways. Still hanging on to that 4th place. Blair Gabbardy's, he's in 5th. Not too far behind will be young Corbin Winter. The 3 laps left to go. Race leader Shane Edgar coming about turn 1. Bit of a snatch on the brakes there. Looking pretty sharp at the moment, Shane Edgar. Shane's got a pretty good sim set up at home in the garage. Oh, that's Gabbardy's getting a wee bit out. Andrew Bruce, I should say, getting a wee bit out of shape.
As is Corbin Winter in the background.
Coming through pothole there. Yeah, can't really do much. Can't get any closer to Gabbardy. Still around about that 2 odd seconds. The pace is still pretty hot in the midfield. Shane Edgar around that 1.8 seconds, which has been for the last 3 or 4 laps. Can't get any further out, but he's Morgan Dorr can't get any closer to him either. Dan Reeford still half a second within Morgan Dorr. Dan Reeford there. Might try and get a good run down the back straight this time. Nowhere near close enough. You're going to be right on the bumper there. Coming out of the last corner. What you can do is try and put a bit of pressure on the braking zone. Morgan Dorr, he's trying to catch up on the back of Shane Edgar, but he's also got one eye looking in the rear vision mirror of that Toyota there. I do say, Brendan, I do like the front of those Toyotas. They look quite nice, a splitter on that on them.
One thing I did notice seeing them for real is how much more modern the Toyota looks over the Mustang and the Camaro. On their own, they're quite smart looking cars, but you put the Supra beside them and it's from the space age. But obviously they do a very good job with parity, keeping them all pretty similar.
Yeah, we'll wait for the Ford guys and the Camaro guys to start whinging in the Supercars now that Toyota's banged in a few wins.
Yeah, the Chevys didn't do so well at Ruapuna. It was a bit of a Mustang Toyota benefit. Anyways.
Shane Edgar now, it's the closest Morgan Dorr's been for a while. Got it down to 1.3. Oh, and that's Sam Reeford just about getting out of shape, trying to get a good run. Going to allow Andrew Bruce to get on the back of him. Now he's going defensive. Andrew Bruce has a wee look. Oh, he's going to put Reeford in the wall. Gives him a wee touch, and that was it. I think that was Sam Reeford's own fault. He was Andrew Bruce was trying to come down the inside, or the outside I should say. Reeford come across in defence. Didn't realise that Andrew Bruce just had a wee touch in front of the rear bumper and puts Reeford into the fence. But he's managed to get underway again back there in 5th place. But now it's Andrew Bruce all over the back of Morgan Dorr. A couple of old sparring partners from the last couple of seasons. Bit of a lock up there from Morgan Dorr. So still around about that 1.7, 1.8 seconds to get first to second. Being very consistent. Andrew Bruce looking pretty racy, 3/10 behind Morgan Dorr through the right-left combination. or being won't be worried about the Shane Edgar at the moment. Morgan Dorr, he'll be wanting to try and just keep Andrew Bruce in behind him.
Just about nudging the wall there is Andrew Bruce.
He was getting close, wasn't he? There's top six cars all on the straight, so not too bad, is it really? Andrew Bruce trying to have a wee sniff around the outside. Tries to get a better run. He had to hit the brakes here a wee bit. Andrew Bruce. Otherwise he was going to run into the back of Morgan Dorr. Through pothole they go. What's he going to do this time, Andrew Bruce?
Going to go out wide and undercut coming out of the hairpin.
Take a completely different line, didn't he? Back into the infield, the right, left, right combination here. Keeping it nice and tidy at the moment, Morgan Dorr. There's no way through in this part of the track anyway. Good hander. Nice and patient and get on it. Nice and quick. Race leader still Shane Edgar. All of a sudden this battle was giving Edgar another second. Second in a bit. Under 3 seconds now for Shane Edgar over Morgan Dorr.
I think Andrew Bruce got out of shape there coming onto the straight, Paul. Cost him a couple of car lengths.
Comes the race leader. Come down, take the race win. Great stuff from Shane Edgar. Started at the back of the pack. Morgan Dorr will come through second. Andrew Bruce will take third. Blair Gabbity's in the end. It's away with fourth. Sam Reeford ends up fifth. Corbin Winter a second and a half behind Reeford in the end. And then Billy Rowley, of course, blew the engine. Great stuff, Shane Edgar. There we go. Shane Edgar in the end gets it by 3 seconds. Morgan Dorr, Drew Bruce, Gavity, Sam Reeford, Corbin Winter, Billy Rowley.
I think there's only incidents there that Billy wants to have another look
at.
A
Whinge in the background there. Oh, they're going to have to look at that, but
plenty of talk in the background, Paul.
Yeah, a wee bit of whinging and moaning going on in the background, Brendan. Few excuses being made. So up next we're going to have Enduro. Three drivers per team. How long is it going to go for, Billy? How many laps are we doing? $60 minutes. 1 hour race. This is the time, Brendan. Oh shit. I'm going to have to do a runner shortly. Brendan's normally tucked up in bed by now, aren't you? The slippers off beside the bed and the old nightgown hung up. You still got the waterbed, Brendan. Still got the waterbed.
Yeah, it's still got the waterbed. It's awfully toasty in the winter.
Bet you it is. Do miss my one, I must say. Just had too many leaks springing from it. She had to go.
Amazing how many ex-waterbed peddlers you mentioned they wish they still had them.
Correct.
Luckily we can still get the parts to keep them going. Anyway, 60 minutes at Ruapuna Raceway, 3 drivers.
Well, Brendan, someone might be... is Mitch going first, is he? You might... For those of you that do want to sit and watch, 3-minute qualifying, Brendan, Jesus. That's putting the pressure on, isn't it? One lap, pretty much. One hot lap. But those of you who do want to watch, we'll continue the live stream. Unfortunately, the commentary team is going to have to scarper very shortly. Do the first 10 minutes or so and then make it up yourself. So just the 3 minutes. Just going to be the one hot lap, Brendan. And look at these buggers. These buggers still haven't learned. Look how bunched up they are.
Well, although Billy Rolly didn't have the best of finishes in the last race, he did make the most of his qualifying opportunity and had his part of the track to himself, and as a result he was able to get into the 120s. But 60 minutes is a long race, so
Yes,
I wouldn't be that perturbed if you weren't on the front row.
No, that's correct. So any pit stops, Billy? And there's that new tyres going on per pit stop? So one set of tyres for the whole race? Oh, well, I'd want to go first. So, right,
okay.
So just the one lap, hot lap. Bruce, Braden Carroll, Paul Hammond entry, which will be up in the mix, no doubt. Not too sure who's in the car qualifying. Andrew Bruce by the looks of it. In the other combinations there, Corbin Winter, Scotty Kinder, Hardacre, and then Reeford, Horn and Latu. Dor, Lister, Hamilton, that'll be a dark horse there. Those guys in Edgar, Manson and Brader will be another team to watch. Cavities, Redhead and Beams. Rowley, Daly and Kernahan. A couple of good lineups there. Purple in the middle sector there. Andrew Bruce. Come round to complete his hot lap. Pretty tidy so far. Comes down to set his time. 1:22.1. Not bad effort. The rest of them come through. In fact, it could be a very, very good effort there from Andrew Bruce. In fact, it's enough to put him on the front row. Pole position. Andrew Bruce. So now it is. Four lights for the hour race here at Ruapuna. Bruce, Braden, Carroll, Hammond on the front row. There we go. Away, everyone off to a pretty good start, but she's a long way to go. Just the one set of tyres too. So they're going to be very nice around the 40-minute mark, no doubt. Oh, someone out in the grass already. The Optus car. It's the Reeford Horn Latu car, is it? Oh, it's a bit of argy-bargy. The Snow River car going sideways. Well, that's not uncommon. Shouldn't say that. David Reynolds had a pretty good round at the last round there at Phillip Island. So it is Andrew Bruce who leads the way, followed by the Rowley Daly Kernahan car. Manson Brader car and LV Power, so they've all changed liveries again, which is just real nice. Rowley, Daly, Kernahan in the DeWalt entry. Jane Eager it is, who's behind the wheel. Ooh, just letting him through, was he? I don't know if he got out of shape or not. Around to complete lap number 1. So do your math, Brendan. How many laps in an hour you reckon? About 40? 38 maybe?
Depends how long it takes them to do the driver change, but they're doing in race conditions 122s, 123s. They've only got one set of tyres, and the other issue, as we've noted in the earlier sprint race, they're going to need a degree of mechanical sympathy as well.
That's right. Don't want to do Billy Rowley and Parker in the middle. The Nigger Manson Brader car sitting in second. Okay, Nigger behind the wheel of that at the moment. Still got the old tents there in pit lane, Brendan. Apparently that'll change this year sometime with some new pit boxes going in apparently.
A little bit of money to be spent. I sat each day just at the entry to the pit lane. I think they're going to need to do something there as well, because the pit lane at Ruapuna is probably 150 mils lower than the circuit, and the Supercars don't do a lot of turning when the front wheels aren't touching the ground, I've noted.
The old one getting out of shape in there, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, we did have one of the cars, the Jones car, came into the wall in front of us.
I must say a big congratulations to Mark Wedrell and the team up there at the Canterbury Car Club, taking out the Best Club Award at the Motorsport New Zealand Awards, which had just held recently. Taking out the Club of the Year for obvious reasons. And
well, they're very lucky with the mayor, I think, there, Paul.
Yes, he's a petrol head himself, isn't he, Phil Major?
Phil Major, he was racing the ex-Colin Bond Caltex RS500 Group A Sierra in the historic touring car field meeting. And they put on a good show also.
And you were saying it was a great weekend, but there's a couple of things that let it down, and that was obviously the GT cars, a wee bit boring.
Well, just the GT cars are very fast, but just they weren't racing each other. They were more racing the clock. The Formula Fords were spectacular to watch. Marco Manson didn't win. You know, who would have known that was going to happen? And yes, we enjoyed the historic touring cars. Unfortunately, Stu Rogers, who brings his GTR Skyline down to Timaru, the boys at Rapid, keep that running for him. It had a gearbox problem on day one, so he was out of the running. But we did have a walk around the pits and checked out all the historic touring cars, had a yarn to the drivers. Good to see a very large field. So next year, I know the Oscar field is trying to make a case to get on the grid at the Supercars round.
So they should.
And of course, shout out to Pleasant Point's Red Band Gumboot Ambassador, Timmy Dossett, taking out Oscar for the season. Congratulations, Tim.
Oh, Gumboots Dossie. It's still Andrew Bruce leading the way by just over a second back to the Eager Manson Raider entry. Pretty much you got themselves sorted out at the moment, haven't they? Fastest lap of the race to the second place car, Eager Manson Raider.
120.6, that's not too bad for an Enduro. They've got a wee way to go.
Driver number 3 will be wishing they'd slow down a wee bit. Just leave something on the rims. Anyhow, they were just getting settled down now. And it's about time then I'm going to have to leave everybody. But do stay tuned and watch the continuation of this 1 hour race. Big thanks to South Canterbury Tyre Centre too for having the name up on the board there. Jimmy Carroll and all the team there at the South Canterbury Tyre Centre. And we'll see you again next week for the start of the winter season. Looking forward to that one. Perhaps Billy Rowley can fill us in on what's happening for the winter series. What sort of cars are we running, and what sort of tracks are we looking at?
Yeah, we're probably looking at XC Falcon and VK Commodores around classic Kiwi and New Zealand tracks. Not too sure on the format yet, but it'll probably be pretty similar to what we've run in the past. A couple of sprint races, maybe a couple of enduros throughout the season. Probably 10 rounds at this stage. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Keep tabs on the Facebook page. We'll keep it all updated there, and see you soon.
Billy Rowley, one of the men behind the scenes here at HOSS. So that's it from us at the commentary box. We're going to scarper, and we'll see you next week down here at HOSS. Make sure you tune in.